George Conway, Kellyanne's husband. I still am not sure what Kellyanne Conway does. She's special advisor or special counselor to the president. I think that's her title, counselor to the president. What the fuck does that mean? Kellyanne, though, obviously is a survivor. She has outlasted, just like, what was the CBS program? Outthink, Outlast, Survivor. Kellyanne Conway, if anything, is a Trump survivor. But she's married to George Conway. George Conway is a hardcore conservative. I don't think he's a fascist. I never heard of George Conway until it became apparent that as Kellyanne's husband, George just cuts the shit out of Donald Trump. George has been advocating that Trump get out of the presidency sooner rather than later because he's fucking up the whole country. I don't know what George Conway's ulterior motive is, if he has one. I don't know what his agenda is, if he has one. But man, today, this morning, George Conway, suggested that Vice President Mike Pence and Trump's cabinet should seriously consider invoking the 25th Amendment to remove the son of a bitch from office due to what Conway calls Trump's mental condition. Yeah. Now, you've known this ever since this rat bastard decided to run for president, as have I, as have millions of people. We have a very sick, fucked up man in the Oval Office who could do damage that is incalculable. He already has. He's threatening violence in this country. I'll get to that in a minute. Now, George did not specifically name the 25th Amendment, which allows cabinet members to remove a president if the president is, quote, unable to discharge the powers and duties of the job. But what Conway's talking about was applied by his Twitter post reacting to Trump's serious, fucked up, insane series of tweets on Sunday. Did you read any of that? Oh my God, this man is totally unhinged. I'll get to that in a minute, too. So Conway tweeted or quoted a tweet from Bill Kristol, director of this conservative advocacy group, Defending Democracy Together. You see, all of a sudden we have all these curious bedmates, is the only way I can put it. I never cared for Bill Kristol. I never cared for so many of these commentators that are showing up on MSNBC and CNN, these conservatives. But what they're trying to do, a number of them, is separate themselves from this fascist fuckwad, Donald Trump. Consequently, you know the old saying, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, temporarily. So Conway is just one of these people. Bill Kristol is another one. But Kristol called on Republicans who are inclined to renominate this sick fucker in 2020 to go ahead and take another look at what he tweeted. Kristol said this, quote, think seriously about his mental condition and psychological state, then tell me you're fine with him as president of the United States for an additional 4 years. Actually, more like 6. Conway commented regarding Bill Kristol's tweet. Conway wrote, agree with this, but would add that that all Americans should be thinking seriously now about Trump's mental condition and psychological state, including and especially the media, Congress, and the vice president and the cabinet, end quote, George Conway. Now, George Conway also quote tweeted MSNBC's The View, well, actually that's NBC, The View co-host Ana Navarro Cardenas, saying that Trump had tweeted and retweeted 28 times and counting on Sunday. She said, quote, "It's almost as if he's trying to distract and preempt. Dear Bob Mueller, anything you'd like to share?" As if Trump has been told that the fucking noose is closing around him. Anyway, Trump's tweets over the weekend touched a whole range of topics that you would expect from somebody who is as unhinged as this bastard is, including Robert Mueller, who's expected to release that report on his probe into Russian interference in our election and possible collusion with the Trump campaign soon. Soon! George Conway said, quote, "Don't assume that the things he says and does are part of a rational plan or strategy," referring to Trump, "because they seldom are. Consider them as a product of his pathologies, and they make perfect sense," end quote. George Conway also posted screenshots of the official diagnostic criteria for a narcissistic personality disorder and an antisocial personality disorder from the DSM-5, both in reference to this sick fuck who's in the White House. This is serious stuff. I mean, it's not Saturday Night Live material. It's not stand-up comedy material, although that's in there too. But only after this crazy fucker is removed legally and peacefully. This is very serious. George Conway also retweeted the U.S. Attorney in Birmingham, Alabama, during Barack Obama's administration, Joyce Aileen, who is endorsing his tweet, Conway's tweet, suggesting the 25th Amendment for, quote, Trump's mental condition, end quote. Joyce Aileen tweeted, quote, "Instead of all Americans thinking about it, I'd like to see those with knowledge and the capacity to act to do so, if they believe it's their duty," end quote. And this is where the Republican Party, what the fuck has happened to the Republican Party? What has happened to a party that prided itself on, now, just hear me out, this is their words, not mine, prided itself on constitutional law, civil law and order, right, small r, right thinking, honor, duty, country, protect the Constitution, balance the budget, watch the spending. Where are those people? I take a look at the senators in the Congress right now in the Republican Party, especially that psycho fucking graham cracker. What has happened to him? There's something on Graham that somebody has, or holding over his head. That little bastard never would have talked like this or allowed McCain to be insulted like Trump insulted him over the weekend if McCain were still alive. Last month, Trump quoted comments from another sick fucker, Alan Dershowitz, Harvard Law School professor, that Dershowitz made on Fox News, pushing back. Dershowitz, I don't get Dershowitz at all. He's just an evil fuck. Anyway, he was pushing back on former FBI Deputy Director Alan McCabe's comments that top law enforcement officials discussed invoking the 25th Amendment against Trump. You remember that. Dershowitz, Trump tweeted this, quote, "Trying to use the 25th Amendment to try and circumvent the election is a despicable act of unconstitutional power grabbing." You know Trump didn't write this. He tweeted it, but he didn't write it. "Which happens in third world countries. You have to obey the law. This is an attack on our system and Constitution." So says Alan Dershowitz. Trump is an attack on the Constitution. This is... This is just insane. Anyway, Kellyanne Conway, who has outlasted just about everybody in this administration so far, except Trump and his family, this morning slighted her husband and said that she didn't, her word, share his concerns about her boss's mental fitness. How in the fuck could she not? She's right there every day. She sees this sick son of a bitch. Well, Kellyanne is laying low. I mean, Kellyanne has figured out very quickly how to survive and stay on the island, and that is to provide Trump with daily mental blowjobs. And I don't care if it's, I'm not saying because she's a woman, man or woman. That's what Mike Pence does. Pence is down on his knees unzipping Trump's pants every goddamn time Trump stands up. There's Pence. Zip, zip, zip. Yes, master. Yip, zip, zip. Kellyanne Conway's doing the same thing. Mental blowjobs all day long. So Pence and Kellyanne are relatively safe. Hey, Truth Seekers, Mike Malloy here on the Progressive Voices Network. We've got a deal for you. You can now subscribe to our new 1-hour audio-video combination Malloycast for only $29 a year. But you have to act fast. This deal ends on tax day, April 15th. Since we're without any business managers now, 100% of your support goes directly to maintaining our nightly campfire. Visit MikeMalloy.com to renew or to subscribe. And thank you for all the ways you keep it lit.